What's up, January 2016, Mitchell? What's good, April 2016, Mitchell? What's up, man? You all right? You looking kind of like you're in pain. Yeah, well, admittedly, I'm a little bit or a lot of bit hungover right now. So you know. Oh, you're hungover. That's weird. That rarely happens. Yeah, it's cute. Nice blazer. Where'd you score that out? So let me explain why you're here today, why we're here today, you and me, why I'm here today. Uh, what I'm going to do is have you ask me some questions that you don't really know the answers to, but I do, so you do. We'll have this kind of dialogue with ourselves of what we learned. Is that, you get it? Is it kind of clever? It has a mild novelty feature to it, so, you know, entertainment. So these questions right here. Okay. Uh, what do you think it means to say that writing is a social practice? What do I think it means to say that writing is a social practice? Okay. To use a pithy quote from one of our readings, writers engage in the work of making meaning for particular audience and purposes, and writers always connected to other people. This includes making knowledge with others through writing in multiple contexts and embodying practices like a teacher writing on a whiteboard for a class, or an academic writing a scholarly article, even a vlogger composing a video to be shared with their followers on YouTube. Curious. Your definition of writing sounds pretty broad. Right. My current definition of writing is actually broader than what you can glean from what I just said. Go on. What the fuck, Mitch? Seriously, no. Uh, Sorry. It makes me feel better. Anyway, traditionally, literacy has been defined as the ability to read and write. Would you agree? Hmm. Well, the gentleman who goes by the handle James Paul G argues two reasons as to why we should expand this definition. First, language is not the only important communicational system. Think images, graphs, diagrams, and other visual symbols, right? And number two, that print literacy is multiple type, meaning there is no monolithic or general form of reading and writing. Legal documents, poetry, lab reports, newspaper articles, each of these, and I'm quoting here, each of these domains has its own rules and requirements. He even goes so far as to say that playing video games constitutes a kind of literacies and even writing. Word. Yeah. Getting back to the writing is a social practice prompt. Writing is something that expresses meaning, but also shares it, right? In writing, and I'm quoting here, the potential of making and sharing meaning provides both the motive and guiding principle of our work in writing and helps us shape the content of our communications, right? So when we write with the intent of communicating with other people. You know, writing doesn't happen in a vacuum. Even when we're writing for ourselves, we use the language and writing conventions shared by other people. So, you know, in that sense, those last little bits, you do a really good job of getting to maybe the heart out of why writing is a social practice, right? But writing isn't only just a means of constructing meaning with and for other people. It also has political and social implications. Yes, I know I sound like I'm reading to a group of people, but I have a hard time holding long causal chains and I can't memorize things and I'm a victim of technology. Yeah. Historically, Writing and literacy has held, and arguably still holds, both political power and a social status labels, multiple, more than one. For example, looking back at when writing was first emerging, writers, or scribes, held higher social standings. Though this ranged from, you could say, up to near the realm of priests, which is fairly high up there, down to the mercantile class. Writing was a valued practice that those of lower social standings didn't have, right? Moreover, when viewing writing as a political tool, historically, groups in power have used writing as a means to maintain their dominance over less powerful groups. Writing, or also interpreted here as literacies. For example, during the Middle Ages in Europe, Bibles were only available to priests and not available in common spoken vernacular. During this era, the Catholic Church was arguably one of, if not the most dominant political force. The laws during this time were guided largely by church authorities' interpretations of the Bible. However, once the Bible was made available in a common language through mass publication by Martin Luther, the power dynamic shifted as people began to make their own interpretations of the Bible. Okay, your second prompt is, how will that inform your future writing endeavors? Alright, so I had originally printed this out to be read in front of me, but I left the third page somewhere else, so I'm going to look over here as I'm looking at you. Me. Looking at me. Okay. The two things that come to mind. I'm more sensitive to the social and political implications of writing. As such, I'll pay attention to these dimensions in my own research, as well as be cautious of my own possible elitist dogmatic beliefs surrounding writing, in addition to encouraging future students, who I will presumably be teaching, to do the same, or at least be aware of that possibility. Introducing that whole Guy tacit theory, or tacit belief deal, seems like a good way to go about that. Second of the two things, adopting a broader view of what constitutes writing and literacy and how this definition may inform my own research interest, right? That Guy definition. I'm motivated to research or investigate the parallels and differences between different kinds of writing, compositions, and literacies, in addition to theorizing different means of transferring our rhetorical knowledge in and across contexts which include modalities. Right, kind of like composing a video essay for a reflection piece. Yeah? Right. Who are you looking at there, bud? I was looking at Christy. Oh, fourth wall break. Nice.